Yeah, I know. It's 2:08 in the morning, and we just had the daylight savings, so we had to rewind the clocks back an hour. Boom. We had to put the clocks back. So I get an extra hour of sleep. And I took a big nap from about 6 o'clock to about 12:30 at midnight, bro. I can't sleep because I took my power nap. I mean, as soon as I got back to the motel, I did my little stream, and then I ended the stream. And then I went to sleep. I just crashed out, man. I was tired, driving all day, that kind of ordeal. I can get to you. Absolutely. I don't think anybody's going to be up. Maybe that's a good thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and respond to Sports Lives and the ATL video. You know, I'm not saying that I watch your videos all the time. I know you cover like Atlanta Hawks and, the Atlanta Falcons and stuff like that. But you made this one video here, and I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna take a stab in the dark at it. Take a stab in the dark and do a response and just say, fuck it. Why not? For old time's sakes. You do is you blow a little bit of that dust off the microphone, so to speak. And I decided, why not to go ahead and respond to Sports Live's videos? Or this one at least. I was supposed to respond actually to a video he had made a couple weeks back. And then I procrastinated, got lazy. And then after that, I said, you know what? Now I'm going to respond to this video. So without further ado, let's play Sports Live's video. From there, we'll critique it. So without further ado, let's hear what he has to say today.
Oh boy, what's up, y'all? Slitter here, Sports on ATL, Sports Fitness Motivation channel. Like, comment, subscribe, mini Fritz, $, cash up, Slitter Sports. This is a video that I decided to make. I know I've touched on this quite a bit, here and there, but this is something I've noticed for a long time, and many people have also. Steps have ruined what it means to be a man and trying to date attractive women.
Yeah, Beast of These passed away. That was Jesus Christ in the summer. And 8 Camel Toes passed away as well. Rest in peace to both of those guys. Good people, man. Goes to show you how short life is. And people take things for granted. I know I'm for one of them, because tomorrow is not promised. None of us. Even though in our minds we like to think that we're going to live forever. And, the father time eventually catches up with all of us. So you cherish it like it's your last day. But yeah, let's go ahead and play this video again because I want to go ahead and get back to what I wanted to say.
Your Sports on ATL, Sports Fitness Motivation channel. Like, comment, subscribe, mini Fritz, $, cash up, Slitter Sports. This is a video that I decided to make. I know I touched on this quite a bit, here and there, but this is something I've noticed for a long time, and many people have also. Steps have ruined what it means to be a man and trying to date attractive women, trying to date women in general. Now, I date women and approach women that are in my class, okay, that are in my physical attraction range, that are in my focus, goal-oriented range, that has goals and not only beauty and sex appeal, but also goals. Because I put myself in that situation where I'm a catch. I'm as Dolph Ziggler says, a wanted man. I'm not saying every woman wants me. That's not what I'm saying. I am humble enough to understand there's many people out there better than me. Just because I got my body turned around and my physical appearance turned around, there's still stuff for me to improve on, always. But I'm very happy with what I got because I've busted my ass to get there. And one thing, not only from the physical that has come about, is the attraction that women give me now. many attractive people. I'm talking 8s, 9s, 10s. I've said it before. But I have high standards and I have a lot more confidence in myself where if I'm not being treated the way that I deserve to be treated and should be treated, I'm out.
Oh, that's good that you have high standards because wish a lot of men had that. Unfortunately, that's not for vast majority of the guys in today's dating market, but go ahead.
I have no problem dropping a hottie just like that because there's plenty out there. We all know the ratio here in Atlanta of men to women. But Sims have ruined it. I mean, it is so frustrating. And I'm going to say it's just frustrating and laughable, I guess I could say, because you go on Instagram and you see these chicks pop on there with just the tightest shit on, acting like they're gold. And you got these dumbasses in the comments with heart emojis, simp, all over it. Even the ugliest woman will get that stuff. And then,
although I agree with what he's saying, just simply ignore it. Just don't go on their profiles. Same thing with the online cam and all that stuff. OnlyFans. Hey, I don't knock women for doing their hustle. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. If there's a market, go for it. I just don't participate in it, if that makes sense. Although I do think he's made some valid points in regards to the simp culture online. I said that the problem is the online simping. I agree with that actually. And the fact that, you know, a lot of these guys go online for this instant gratification now, as opposed to having to, you know, to meet in person, like back in my dad's time, or like even when I was growing up, you know. But I understand, you know, the bigger picture of all this. And before I get to all that, I'm just going to continue to allow his video to play, and then I'll just respond to certain things.
and then the funny thing is, a lot of these Instagram channels will put that disclaimer on there when you pop up, be nice and kind. Why? Because they know what they're doing is fucking ridiculous. You know, you want the attention, but you don't want to take the backlash that comes around.
Yeah, that's the same for anybody. Shit, I make videos all the time. I love to talk shit. I don't like people to talk shit to me because it's an ego. That's the natural human element, and that comes with the territory of being a content maker or being on social media. Is that you're gonna, you know, you're gonna make content, you're gonna make videos, you're gonna get some people that are gonna like you, you're gonna get some that are not. I don't think people are equipped nowadays to handle the criticism when it comes to making videos. You know,
when you dress like a hoe and act like a hoe, people are going to treat you like a hoe.
yes and no, because there are girls that I know that don't even dress like that, and they still act like that behind closed doors. There are girls that used to, like, I used to be cool with, that used to tell me, you know, they used to call, you know, they say, oh, she's a whore, that girl's a whore. And the whole time she was a whore. Like, I've seen it. And they didn't even like dress the part or look the part or even acted the part. But behind closed doors, they were like meeting dudes and having random hookups and all that stuff. And a couple of times it threw me for a loop because I was like, damn, I didn't even know that she was engaging and acts like that. You know what I'm saying? The whole time she made it sound like that she wasn't. Well, I guess to each their own. It's you know, the image is everything. That is true. Like the way you dress, your appearance, people are going to judge you based on that. That is true. But sometimes sometimes it's like, don't judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people can, like, they can act the part and look the part and then be completely opposite. It's like same for YouTube. Same for YouTube. It's you know, there's a lot of content makers that are like complete dickheads. And then when you meet them like outside here, you're like, damn, that person's pretty cool. Like, you know, like I guess I must have misunderstood him. And then there's some people that pretend like they're an angel on here. And there'll be content makers, some with a whole bunch of subscribers, and then some with a little bit of subscribers. And they'll act all cool on camera and stuff, right? And you think they're just this wonderful person. And then when you meet them um, in person, you realize that they were completely the opposite of who they say they are or proclaim that they are. Does that make sense? So even though image is everything, and people do judge you based on the way you carry yourself, the way you look, and stuff like that. But sometimes people are good at they're master manipulators, some people, and they'll pretend they're this wonderful person. And then you later find out they're not who they say they are, or they're not who they proclaim themselves to be when it comes to like the whole thing or whatever. They throw that term around. There's girls that I knew that went to church and dressed up like they were just normal. And they would speak out against these like girls that were engaging in it the whole time they were doing it, you know? And so I guess they figure is, well, I haven't gotten caught or I'm behind closed doors and it's different. It's like you go and you find that out later. One of my friends that I knew from back in the day, like she always used to judge other girls all the fucking time. And I would sit there and listen, oh, she's a whore. She's sleeping around with a married man. This bitch doing this, like all up in other girls' business. And then come to find out she was all doing that shit. And then it was like, I didn't want to tell her anything because I didn't want to be rude, but I was like, girl, you're doing the same thing. So like, how you gonna, say that these girls are doing this, but you're doing it too, you know? And like, I went and found out about it. And it was like, I stayed silent. I didn't say shit, right? Like I didn't tell nobody anything. And, but it was happening. And I was just like, damn. This whole time, old girl talking shit about these girls being hoes, but the whole time she was one. And she was worse than they were. And I was like, damn. The things you find out about people, right? But, to me, I just stay silent. The silence, they used to say back in the day, like silence is golden. As it is. You go to the movie theater and they'll say silence is golden. Just pretend, what you pretend you don't know and just cruise along. That's how you do it. Just like
that. You're for the streets, you're for the streets. You should let your actions speak. You should let your actions and your body speak for you, not try to entice men to grovel over you. Like at the gym, they wear the tightest shit, and half of them don't even work out right. They don't. They just come in there and just, just for a popularity contest and look at me in all eyes. And if a guy approaches them, they give them that look. You see these women walk around the gym with their mug face. Well, I walk around with my mug face on. And I see the woman looking all the time. You expect me to come talk to you? No. Because you're unapproachable. There's nothing about you that I haven't seen in women all over the place. I'd rather just have that look and you guys show interest and be treated like an individual, like somebody I deserve to be, not like like, okay, let's see how many guys I can talk to today. Yeah, TikTok that ruins it. These women out.
before I go on, when it comes to the gym thing, I really don't. I just go there to work out like when I used to go to the gym. So I don't really, not really focused on what other people are doing. But to be honest with you, he may be right on what he's saying about the attention seeking thing. The thing I disagree with the gym about is I don't like the whole filming shit, like where you film yourself working out and stuff. I get it. They probably have like a channel where they have like subscribers that are watching, but I think personally, cell phones should be banned in the gym. Like, I just think they should just ban that shit because, like, they'll say, "Oh, this dude's staring at me" or something, and I was like working out, and he glared my way for like 5 seconds, and you'll see videos like that pop up, and I just watch it, kind of laugh, and I'm like, maybe sometimes they're a creep, and I get that, and so, but there's times where maybe he's not, and you're just kind of still putting him on blast, and it's sort of like that slippery slope, that double-bladed sword effect where like, yeah, you're going to kill like the guilty ones, but the not guilty ones, you're just going to drag them in for a court of public opinion. And so I just say, well, why not? Let's just take away the cell phones. Or why don't we just have a men and women's only gym? That way it's just settled that way. If it's going to be an issue, if the women are complaining about the guys heckling them or disrupting their workouts or trying to holler and they're treating it like a dating website, okay, I agree with that. I think the gym should be solely for workout. If you make a friend up there, so be it. But if it's going to be an issue of, oh, he's looking at me or, this or that, why not just have a men and women's only gym and just separate the two and just get it over with? Like they just do it with the bathrooms, the men's only bathroom and the women's only bathrooms. Do that for the gym, and that way no one has to complain about the issues. The guys are not complaining about, oh, the girls are just here to get attention. They're not here to work out. And the girls are like, oh, the dudes are bothering me and they're trying to holler at me and bother me. This is where I say, okay, let's just have a men and women's only gym. Okay. Wait, so I haven't been to a gym in probably maybe 4 or 5 years. Although I do need to go back to the gym. I ain't gonna lie, I do need to go back and start working out and that sort of ordeal. Just make a gym to separate the damn two and get it over with. I mean, people don't have to go on the internet and voice their frustrations about the gym. Keep it separate. Just men's only gym and a women's only gym. Settled. See, I fixed it.
Act like they're out there, man, they're sitting on stage trying to pick up like an individual, like somebody observed to be not. Like, like, okay, let's see how many guys I can talk to today. Yeah, TikTok that ruins it. These women act like they're out there, man, they're sitting on stage trying to pick up men for money and use and abuse men. Get the fuck out of here.
So they're picking up and abusing men. That's where you lost me. I disagree with that. They wouldn't be doing this if there wasn't a market for it. And at the end of the day, humans are very cutthroat, male or female. They're going to do things to make money the fastest way because we live in a society where capitalism has turned into a nation of thieving where we're stealing from each other. And that's basically what you're seeing now on social media. Now, do I like attention seeking people? No, but that's just the reality of how humans are naturally trying to garner attention, and that's what we do. Like, hell, that's what I'm doing right now. You see my video, I'm garnering attention, whether it's 2 viewers, 8 viewers, 15 viewers, doesn't matter. All humans try to garner attention. That's normal. But I don't think the women are necessarily taking advantage of the men that are coming to these OF sites or these, their Instagram or whatever. I think the guys knowingly, voluntarily are also participating in it as well, which makes them just as guilty. Like I said, if you're going to blame the drug dealer, but you're not blaming the user for constantly trying to find a new drug dealer, if you arrest one drug dealer, they'll just find another drug dealer in their area to get drugs from. It's sort of, I guess, the same thing when it comes to this online site. Or some people say porn is an addiction. Some people have porn addictions. Some people, go on those sites because they lack a social life or they lack the dating life outside of their lives. So I guess they go to like this internet gratification to try to somehow make up for that. I don't think the women are taking advantage of them, but I do think there's negative connotation of making online solicitation, when it comes to selling your body and stuff. I think that it ends up becoming detrimental in the long run for a lot of these women, and they don't realize it now because they're living in the moment. But excuse me. But for the guys that are going on these websites, in fact, they're just as guilty because they're participating in it. And we live in a society where it's like, everybody wants to be a victim. You got the girls will make the sites that attract the guys and they'll say, oh, I've been objectified, but they continue to objectify themselves every day while they're being objectified. And it's like they want that victim role where we're not getting the money. Then you got the guys that run to these sites and they'll subscribe and they'll pull their credit card out and start pay pigging or whatever and sending money to these girls, and they'll turn around and say, "Oh, I was taken advantage of this, and that," and they'll start hitting the record button and complaining. And I just sit back and I watch, and I'm just thinking, like, damn, what a bunch of suckers on this site. What a bunch of suckers on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole like victim mentality is so stupid. And it's like, the girls that go on these sites attract these guys, they know exactly what they're doing, you know, just like the guys that are going on these websites. They're not a victim either. They're active, willing participant. So the best way to not, to avoid this situation is just not to get involved. That's why I don't get involved. Somebody came up to me and said, "Would you like to subscribe to my OnlyFans site?" Right? I wouldn't knock her hustle, but I would just say I'm not going to do that because it's just not me personally. I'm not interested in that. That's not my interest. But you do you. You go, find your next customer or whatever. All power to you. It's the same thing with Snapchat or Instagram, any of these sites or whatever, or cam girls or whatever. I'm not going to knock their hustle. But what I will say is I'm just not going to participate. And that's the only way that you really can avoid all this stuff, avoid all the stress, avoid all the bullshit, is just simply not to get involved and hit play. Don't worry, the stream won't be an all-night thing, man.
Sims have caused all this, and it's fucking ridiculous. It's sad, really. Back in the day, you could approach a woman. I could approach a woman 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and not have to worry about being rejected. If they weren't interested, they were very polite about it. They didn't give you the number. They told you straight out. They didn't play with your feelings. Not nowadays. Nowadays, it's a numbers game. Guys, how many Instagrams have you gotten? When you check Instagram, they got thousands of followers. And they don't even follow half of them. And then they barely ever reply to you. I have some that do that, but I have some that give me the attention too. And the ones that don't give me the attention are the ones I kick to the curb.
Well, that's the problem with social media in general, is everybody's running to be the next famous person. They want to be the next 3-second clip TikTok, go viral. And whatever it takes, it seems like, to get there, people will do it. And the problem with this is that being online is nice. You get an opportunity to meet people from other states, other countries, and you can talk on Google Hangouts. You can have discussions amongst your panel of peers and get to know people. But the problem is now, social media has made us lazy. It has. Like even me to a certain degree, like we're most likely now gonna travel online instead of wanting to travel the earth or wanting to go out and meet new people and explore new things. This is like the new form of like dating. It's like online, what you see beyond a camera. And so people have now become more accustomed to that lifestyle as opposed to the old way when my parents grew up. They met up once a week at a bowling alley or a skating ring or something like that. Now people are more prone to meeting online.
It's just borderline ridiculous now. I've always said a woman will not make excuses for a man that they like. A woman, if they like the guy, will not make him wait, will not make him jump through hoops. A woman, if they like the guy, they will hit him up. They will keep their dates. They won't make no excuse. When you hear these excuses, oh, I got to check and see my family, blah, blah, blah. Or, no, I don't go anywhere on this day, blah, blah, blah. Or this one chick told me, oh, no, it's not you. I don't go out, not just with you, hang out with you, but a lot of people. It's on Instagram going to parties and shit like that, shaking her ass all over the place. Give me a break. No, you go out, you just don't want to go out with me.
There's nothing wrong with that. She has every right to not go out with you. If she's not interested in you, she has the right to not want to go out with you. Just like, if I didn't like somebody and I wasn't interested in them, I don't have to date them. I don't have to go out with them. I may not agree with it, right? If somebody doesn't like you, you may not like it, but that's within their freedom of choice. And this is nothing personal to the guys that are maybe watching this, but it seems like to me like there's a little jealousy that the girls are getting a lot of online attention, even the ugly girls, right? But whose fault is that if you really like think about that in like the retrospect of things? The reason why that is the case is because men go to those websites to follow them because they think that they're going to meet them one day or whatever the case may be or whatever, or, they think that, oh, I'm going to meet this girl and it's never going to happen. It's just a fallacy. It's uh, what do they call it? Like a imagination, like an alternate universe. A lot of these guys think they're going to meet these girls. It's like, oh, my dream girl's online. It's like, yeah, maybe in your dream, sure, but you're never going to meet her. And if you're lucky, for the few men that actually do, that they're just the lucky ones. But most guys, you're not going to meet these girls online like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is part of the act. It's like if you go to a strip club and a girl's shaking her ass on you, and then you catch feelings and ask her out on a date. It's like, come on, man. Like, how you gonna go to a strip club, get, a dance, and then after the fact you catch feelings and then try to ask her out on a date? I mean, does that make any sense? Like, come on, man. Like, doesn't make any sense. It's like ludicrous. It's like, and I've seen this. You know why? You know why I brought this analogy up? Because I've seen this shit a couple of times. Like, I had my homeboy one time. We went to strip club and he caught a lap dance from this girl and they were talking and like just conversing. Her job is to make money for the business. And he fell in some sucker shit. And he's like, "You want to go out sometime on a date?" And I'm like, "Come on, man. Come on." You know?
Which is fine. I don't attract every woman, but you ain't gonna come on there in my Instagram and say, "Oh well, I got tired." No, I'm not gonna add you back because I got tired of our friendship going back and forth. Well, I just came back out and said, "Well, every time I asked you to go do something, you gave me all these excuses. Yeah, you go all over the place." And I said, "Stop. You've hung out at my house twice already. Don't give me that shit. If you're not interested, just say you're not interested." But Sims has made it so difficult for us guys to read the good women because not really. I mean, if the good women are out there, they're hidden somewhere. Because there's always an attitude, there's always stuck upness, there's always flakiness, there's always lying, there's always standing you up, ghosting you, whatever. Well, two can play at that game because I do it too. And you ladies don't like it that much, do you? I can tell.
They don't like it for the guys that they like. The guys they don't like, which are vast majority, they give two fucks less.
Well, you're not going to have your cake and eat it too. If you're not going to give me the attention that I'm giving you, if you're not going to give me what I deserve, don't expect it back in return. Find another dumbass out there. I'm not paying for your shit.
Oh, they will find another one.
Right? We go out and do stuff, we hook up and do stuff. Okay, it's a little bit different, but I am not paying the Brinks truck for your attention. No fucking way.
Well, I mean, unless you're not intending on marrying her. Now, of course, you're going to marry her, you're going to have to throw the breach truck at her. Because eventually women are looking for a provider. So they're going to look for the Brinks truck, whether it's on the front end or the back end, if it gets to longevity. Now, if you're just trying to naturally just hook up with girls, then you also have to be honest with yourself. So a lot of guys love to complain online about how the girls don't want to date anymore and this and that. But what they're failing to realize is that a lot of these guys are just looking for casual sex. That they're not looking for anything long term either. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's just be honest with yourselves about it. And let's not insult them for having a hustle. And, dudes are just trying to hustle for cheap sex. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, why even get frustrated or get angry or mad about it? I put it like this, like the way that my mindset is now is like, if I was dating someone, let's just say hypothetically, and she just said, "Hey, I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm just looking for just some casual romance." Okay, cool. Like, I'm not going to trip about it if I'm sexually attracted to you. I don't see anything wrong with that. We're both consenting adults here. That's fine. But then if she brings it up later, like, hey, so are we dating? What's going on? I'd be like, dating? You just told me you just wanted just to mess around. Like, I just went with your word. You know what I'm saying? You told me you weren't looking for nothing. So I just went the casual way about it and said, okay, we'll just smash or mess around, which there's nothing wrong with that. Right. But at the same time, I'm not going to get bitter or angry over the fact that she doesn't want anything more than that. I'm good. I just put it like, as long as I'm getting mine, I'm straight. You know,
I've already made that clear with a lot of y'all. Many times, the ones that are on my program, they benefit the right way. The ones that are not on my program, hit the fucking road.
yeah. But I mean, if you're just looking for casual hookups, then there's not even really no point in being angry. But I can understand if you wanted something serious with somebody and the person was playing around with you and y'all are on more of a serious note. It's not just like a casual, it's not just casually hooking up. There's like a connection. Y'all were dating for X amount of time. Is this going anywhere? Are we together? And then I can understand your frustration in that case. But most people nowadays, they're just looking for casual hookups. And that's the thing. So like a lot of people are getting angry at each other. And it's like, well, if you're only looking for casual hookups, then why do you care? Like, why is this to me? Like, I don't see this as a big deal. You know, go ahead and press play. It's good.
No simp zone here, man. No simp zone here. Simps, you want to get ashamed of yourself. Get a life. And you gold diggers out there and your bitches out there, y'all get a life too. Because eventually your looks are going to fade. Don't come crawling back to me. When a guy mistreats you, don't come crawling back to me. You had your chance. I made my effort. Now I'm moving the fuck on. Flint Sports, I'm the ATL Sports Week's motivation. Don't worry, don't forget Falcons.
Sports Love, I like your confidence, but Jesus Christ, you're fucking arrogant, dude. It's nothing personal, but sometimes you have to just call it for what it is. You're very arrogant, dude. And it's like it kind of gets cringy at times because you're very stubborn. It's like I get it, you're an older guy, you're stuck on your ways. I understand that. We all get that way. But it's like sometimes you need to have a more humble approach. It saves the stress a lot. Takes years, adds years back into your life. I feel like I'm just preaching to the choir at this point in life. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you. The bigger picture is this. To revert back to the beginning of this video, there was a point here. The bigger picture is that you should be blessed that you got your own spot. You should be blessed that you have a social life and or have the ability to date. Just like I'm blessed that I'm here in this hotel in Dallas and that I'm going to be going gambling tomorrow and I'm going to go to the Dallas Mavericks and Magic game tomorrow, right? So I'm blessed that I have the ability to do these things and have a vehicle and have transportation and have a dating life. Because the kids nowadays, they don't have those same things. These prices have gone up. It costs more to get a vehicle. It costs more. It costs like a used car is almost as much as a brand new whip. And then the housing crisis has gone up. So unless you either inherited a house from your people or you had owned a house for a long time and you're in old school, then really for any of these young guys coming up, they're not going to get to experience this. And then most of these jobs either are not hiring or they're not giving enough hours and they still won't budge off $10 an hour. And so it's a lose-lose cause. There's no incentive for kids nowadays to get a license. There's no incentive for them to get a car. What's the point? When everything has gone up and now everybody's moved to social media, they can't even fucking date. What's the fucking purpose of getting a car when you can't even find a job that can sustain the hours and pay to be able to make the payments on that car? What's the incentive for a kid to get a license? There's like literally zero incentive. And I have a license, by the way. I love the perks that I get with it. I love the that I got a new whip. I love the fact that I can travel and not have to worry about somebody else. what's the incentive for the average 18, 19-year-old to date? There's none. So Sports Live, you should be blessed that you're in a position where you can do those things, because there's many people that don't have that ability, and they don't have a car, they don't have a good paying job. And I'm not saying that, oh, we should have sympathy for everybody and I should just give them $1 million. Like, no, but I do see that this is the ongoing occurrence, is that many young people are coming into the market with no social skills, no hands-on training, and they have no money, so they can't afford a vehicle, they can't afford the monthly payments because they're not making the hours at their job. And a lot of jobs are not hiring, and they won't budge off $10 an hour and maybe 25 hours a week. So you can't even make enough money to make the car payments. So, unless you have your parents helping you out, it seems like the parents now are at a struggle because they can barely afford their own bills, so they have to put off on their son's car or their daughter's car now. So they have to go without. They have to catch Uber. Why you see Uber is so popular right now because of that. And it's like, you got to look at the bigger picture. Be blessed that you have the ability to date. You have the ability to go out and do your things. Now, to get back to your argument at hand of the whole social media contents, this is a microcosm of the downfall of Western society when it comes to online social media and the content and where we're headed as a country. And I don't mean to add politics or the doomer side of it, but it's something that you have to consider, is that people are becoming dumbed down by society due to the fact that we've now become lazy and entitled, and now we're on the internet for easy cash flow, or what it would appear to be easy cash flow, while our social skills are lacking, our hands-on training skills are lacking for workplaces, quality of service, quality of work is at an all-time down. And people nowadays are living in this, I want to be a digital nomad, I want to be popular, I want 1 million subscribers. It's attention for a positive for the racket and the money, but a negative for the outcome of how society and where we're going to as a society. And this is an issue that's going on. So the dating market has been affected. The girls and the guys are fucking using the internet to lash out their frustrations at one another when we should be working together for the greater cause. And I think that these are issues that are going to continue to keep us divided. So we have to figure out ways to bring us together. This is not a video to insult. I think a lot of what Sports Live said in that video is correct. But I think that the anger is being directed in the wrong, and channeling in the wrong areas. It's that the women are going online, but why would they go on there if there wasn't a market? And as long as the guys are going on there, in which you have called them out, you said simps are the problem. But see, a simp can be a rich guy, a simp can be a poor guy, a simp can be a middle income earner. It doesn't really matter. It's the mentality of these weak-minded men that are doing these things. And yes, I agree that weak men are running the country. I do agree that weak-minded men is worse than feminism. And I think that this is, we're having all these like microcosms of social dynamic problems going on within our society. And this is just one of many things that's going on. It's like, dating should be the last thing on anybody's mind at this time. And I only say that respectively because of the fact that I think our dollar's collapsing. And until we figure out how to save the American dollar, how to save this economy from the brink of collapse and a recession and a depression and all that, we need to figure out exactly how to get out of this shit so that we can have somewhat of a normal life again. So I hope this video helps out, and I'll be looking forward to your response. See if Sports Live and ETL will respond to this, and if not, I gave my opinion, and it is what it is. But I do agree with a lot of your content. I just think that, again, it's the channeling of the frustration or the anger is in the wrong direction when we should be looking at the bigger picture. And that's all I have to say. Take care. I'm going to bed. Good night.